And we have Amritpal Singh, our correspondent, joining us live from New York. Amrit, the latest poll surveys now indicate that Hillary Clinton is just 5 points ahead of her rival. So as the real countdown has actually started, how is this really poised for now? We do understand that these the swing states will be very, very crucial now.
Exactly. The swing states, Sakal, would be the most crucial states depending upon how voters go. Now, there are some states which are regularly blue states, traditionally blue states. There are other states which are red states, which means they're Republican states. But there are states where voters do not make up their minds till the last moment. And in fact, even in traditional strongholds, we can see votes shifting at the last moment, because this is unlike any election that at least that I remember, presidential election, which is hugely divisive. The gaps have narrowed down, though Hillary Clinton in the polls and even in the early voting trends does show a certain amount of a slight advantage over Donald Trump. But there are 36 hours to go. Both candidates, their surrogates, their running mates are blitzing the whole Pan America, trying to woo the voters, going out for last minute knocks on doors, making telephone calls, sending mails, messages. Where I am in Times Square, there are huge hoardings from both the parties trying to woo voters. While I stand here on the Lexington Avenue and give a live dispatch, there are many people who walked up to me are telling me why why people should vote for their particular camps. So it's really a feverish pitch, and it's a closely contested elections. The political pundits who are keenly watching say they are keeping their fingers crossed. They wouldn't bet their horses on anyone even 36 hours before the election, the voting begins.
Right. Yes, right, Amrit. In fact, the surveys are also saying that it could be a photo finish between the two rival candidates and 36 hours left for the elections. But the latest development coming in is the FBI clearing Hillary Clinton in the email issue. What impact is that now going to have, can we say, shot in the arm for the Democrat candidate ahead of the US elections? A big one too.
Donald Trump was campaigning in Minnesota today. He did not make any reference to that. Clearly, it's given a slight edge to Hillary Clinton. Its camp is jubilant over getting a clean sheet, because James Comey, the FBI director, has written to congressional members saying that it does not merit opening a criminal investigation into it. They've looked at all sides of it, of the leaked emails which went from Anthony Weimer's server, and says that it does not merit any kind of criminal investigation into it. It remains to be seen whether voters buy that. Of course, the traditional Democratic supporters are happy about it. It did dent Hillary's image, or her handling of important important national security documents. It's saying that, are we giving the reins in the hand of a person, especially as president, to someone who might be careless about it? But it remains to be seen whether it cuts eyes with the traditional Republican voters or even the swing voters, because the issues that matter to them really are trade, insurance, their lives, taxes. That's basically bread and butter issues on which people will vote. Hillary is talking about making it, going in for a more cohesive society, clearly trying to woo the minorities, be it the African Americans, the Hispanics, the Indian Americans, the Latinos, which have traditionally been, of course, Democratic supporters. But this time around, it remains to be seen which way they go. But if the trends of the early votings are anything to go by, that does give Hillary a slight edge on that.
All right, Amrit, of course, but it cannot really get closer than this when it comes to both of them and the latest poll surveys. We will be getting back to you for the latest later on. Amritpal, thank you very much for joining us from Times Square, New York. So basically, one big story that is all set to grab the international headlines has gripped the world, the most unpredictable race, as they call the race to White House.